again, everybody, and welcome inside OH Report World Headquarters in Mansfield. I am Travis Berardi, alongside Hayden Gray, as we bring you the Week 7 high school football passing, rushing, and receiving leaders. And Hayden, let's just get started. Let's get right into this. Passing, Marshall Shepard from Shelby continues to be phenomenal. He's almost 600 yards ahead of second place.
Yeah, 600 yards ahead of second place and 14 passing touchdowns ahead of the next closest person on the list. So Marshall Shepard getting the job done, and he's got lots of talent on the receiving corps to get the job done. Another new guy this week. Welcome Landon McFrederick from the Ashland Arrows to this list. It's his first time being on the list this year. Still putting together a good statistical season, even though he's down at number 9 on our list. Awesome to see a new addition this week, and to see the OCC getting another person along with Brock Hill onto this list.
And the MOAC, 3 in the top 5. You have Shepard at 1. You have Shadone from River Valley at 2. Brady Wink at 4. And then you have Mitchell from South Central. Despite having one less game, he's still in the top 5. Lester at 6. Brock Hill, as you said, is at 7. Kobe Allen at 8, and then Victor Skoog drops one spot down at number 10. Moving on to receiving, where if Marshall Shepard is at the top with so many yards, you're going to have a couple wide receivers there, and 1 and 2 are the Whippets, Andre Hill and Blaine Bowman.
Yeah, Andre Hill, obviously he's kind of become a household name around here as well. We've talked a lot about him, but Blaine Bowman, want to give a congratulations. He set 3 all-time records over at Shelby for receiving yards in a career, receiving touchdowns in a career, and most receptions in a career over at Shelby. So congrats. And then we have Zayden Fry from the Mohawk Warriors. He's known to run the ball, but he can also receive. He's got 640 reception yards, 6 touchdowns this year, and he's really fueling that Mohawk offense.
Yeah, and like we said, 2 Shelby Whippets at the top. You have Carson Music from South Central, another player with 1 less game, but he's still at number 3. Butterman from Mount Gilead at 4. Lang from River Valley at 5. Zayden Fry, like we said, he's 6th. Affiliator from Winford at 7. Jonathan Metzger coming up to number 8 this week, thanks to Landon McFrederick breaking the top 10. You have Schaefer from Upper Sandusky, and then Jake Jarrett from Western Reserve making it into the top 10 for the first time this week. Finally, moving on to the rushing leaders, where Dane Nauman continues to be the number 1 rusher, but there's a guy from Colonel Crawford that's creeping up there at number 2.
Yeah, Lincoln Molonkov's here to stay on this list, wanting to make his name known as well. He's really fueling this Colonel Crawford offense, as we talked about earlier in the year. They had some guys from last year that weren't going to be around. He's really picked up and has been able to carry the load for a really good Colonel Crawford offense. And then the next guy we have on this list, Connor Morse of Crestview. He's been another guy who's contributed to a really balanced offense this year for Crestview, and that's going to be a big game this Friday that we're going to have right here live on the OH Report, where he faces number 4 on this list, Shea Sparks. Travis, what do you think heading into this game on Friday?
Well, I like how you plugged that. That's what they call a plug in the business, but that's going to be a big one. They're opening up the new turf at Crestview, so going to be nice and fresh for these guys to run up and down the field. Might see some big numbers, who knows, but Crestview's got a pretty darn good defense as well. Number 5, you have Jesse Beckman from Seneca East. Hanif Donaldson, despite being more into the receiving game the last couple of weeks, he stays in the top 10. He's at 6th. Isaac Roeder of Monroeville at 7. Max Lauer, big game, 120 yards against East Knox in that big win to stay 7-0. He's 8th. Carson Berry from Lexington still at number 9, and then 10th, Will Stieber from St. Paul, who will make the trip to Crestview, not this week, but next week. So a couple big rushing matchups coming up in the Firelands Conference, Hayden. And you got to give the small schools some love as well, because they've dominated the rushing so far this year.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. They're obviously doing some things right in rushing and in focusing on that, so shout out to those smaller schools for making themselves have bigger names.
That'll do it for now, but make sure Friday night 11:30 to tune into the Friday Night Pigskin. We'll have highlights from some of these games. That matchup between Morse and Sparks will be highlighted. We'll have scores from all around the area and much, much more. So tune in Friday night 11:30 after our streams for the Friday Night Pigskin. But for now, we out.